Howdy and welcome to the faction. My name's Tim and I'm the leader of Raccoon Rumpus. Our faction's primary purpose is to help new players to learn and love this game. This video is the first of several videos we will provide to you to help jumpstart your account. Over the course of about the next 2 weeks, it's our goal to help you improve your gem stats, quickly advance to level 15, and get you moved into your first private island rental. Now, this game is a 20-year-old game with an incredible amount of depth. And for myself, with almost 18 months of experience playing, I still feel like I'm learning something new every single day. And with that in mind, our training program is specifically designed to provide you with only the most important information, a little bit at a time, to keep you from getting overwhelmed or distracted with all that Torn has to offer. So with that out of the way, let's get right to it. If you're watching this video, you have just been accepted to our faction. The person that sent you the email containing the video link is your personal coach for the next 2 weeks. Do not hesitate to ask that person any questions you have along the way. And keep in mind that questions you ask in faction chat are just as likely to benefit other new members like yourself. Before we go any further, I want to point out that our training program is not meant to be in any way a mandate of how you should play this game. The purpose of the training is to help you to avoid many of the mistakes that new players make and to keep you focused on what will matter the most in the first week or two of playing Torn. Until such time that you feel you understand the basic principles of the game, I would strongly encourage you to just trust the process and follow the steps in our tutorials and these videos. By this time, you should have received some loaner gear. So let's take a look at your inventory screen and equip these items. So I'm going to go here to items right here in the left-hand bar. And you will have received a number of things. First will be a DBK, a diamond blade knife, which you're going to find under melee items right here. So we'll click melee. And then we'll scroll down until we find the diamond blade knife right here. And you're going to click this plus to equip that item. Okay? So you'll want to use this weapon. And then you'll also have a full set of combat armor. So for that, we're going to click the little shield here to get to the armor menu. And you're going to want to equip each of these items: combat boots, gloves, helmet, pants, and vest, by clicking the plus along here. Okay? Okay, so once you have done that, you can click the portrait window here, and it should look something like this. You'll see the helmet, the gloves, the boots, the pants, and the vest. You will not see the knife or any weapon that's in your hand, but this is kind of another way to double check everything is right. Okay, so now that we've got that sorted out, I want to point out that this gear, this armor, is the same armor that you have. Maybe slightly different in some kind of way, but my point is this. There are better armor, there are better weapons, but it will likely be several months before you can afford something sufficiently good to replace or best this stuff that you have been given. So I want to point that out primarily because it's very often the case that newer players want to spend their money, and we're going to get into this later on, but don't spend your money on armor and weapons in the first few weeks of playing this game. If nothing else, you have probably little idea what's good and what's not good, but more importantly, there's something much more important that we want you to spend your money on to help you further excel in this game. Okay, so once we've got the armor and the weapon equipped, we want to next check for the $1 faction mansion rental, which you should have received. Now, my screen's going to look a little different from yours, but you're going to go here to the properties window, and you will see somewhere on here, it will show that you've received an offer to rent a mansion. It's going to look like this. You won't have this many, but these are all mansions that we, the faction, rent to our members for $1. And this is a faction perk that I strongly encourage you to take advantage of, mostly because of this, the happy. and we're going to discuss this more later on. But long story short, take full advantage of the $1 mansion rental and keep an eye on how many days is remaining on your rental as the game goes by, because within a day or two of this running out, you'll want to notify us that you need a renewal, and we can send it before it expires, so there won't be any lapse in your rental. All right, and as a final step, there's an option underneath the mansion rental to move in. You want to make sure you move into the house, and it should light up like this once you've done that. Okay, at this point, you've completed step 1 of the training program, and I want you to pause the video briefly so you can notify your personal coach, that's the person that sent you the original training email, that you've completed this step, so that you'll receive the next video that tells you what to do next. So do that and then come back and unpause the video. Okay, before we end this video, I want to cover some basic rules which you can apply to your day-to-day time in Torn, particularly as a newer member. And I call these the TIM Commandments. Okay, here we go. The TIM Commandments. Don't use drugs until you reach level 15. Just don't do it. Rule number 2, selling losses is not allowed in this faction. This is sometimes referred to as slutting. You're basically getting paid by a high player to lose an attack on them. It's not allowed. Don't do it. It's a waste of energy. Just don't do it. Number 3, avoid letting your energy and nerve bars stay full. Okay, so we're referring here to the green energy bar and the red nerve bar. We don't want these to fill up completely and stay full for an extended period of time. And we'll talk more about this later on, but you're basically losing free nerve and energy when these bars stay full. Okay, number 4, avoid letting cooldown timers empty completely. You're primarily going to be interested with this one here, the booster cooldown. We're going to talk more about this in later videos, but we don't want this to go all the way down to 0 cooldown timer, because we've effectively given up another opportunity to do something in Torn. Rule 5, do not buy properties. Always rent. Now, you as a starter are going to take full advantage of the free mansion that we already talked about, but just know this, you don't want to buy property. You want to rent, probably for at least the first few years. It's just a bad investment. Always rent. Rule number 6, this is an important one. Avoid speaking in global chat and in the forums. Now, here in Torn, we have all these places we can talk. This chat here with the fist, okay, this is the faction chat. Totally okay. Totally okay to talk here. Strongly encouraged, okay? If you go delve into these areas here, you're potentially in global chat, trade chat, one-on-one chats. These are things that I would highly recommend you avoid in your first few weeks of Torn. Okay, similarly, if we go into the forums, there's all kind of information here. Read to your heart's content. Reading is good. Talking or responding or making comments or asking questions here, it's hard to explain, but basically, Torn players look for new people that are talking here and use it as an excuse to attack. So just avoid communicating here in the forums. Rule number 7, don't engage in conversation with players outside of the faction. We already talked about that here. That's these one-on-one type conversations. That would include finding a player, like if I find someone named Joe, and clicking here to initiate a conversation. These one-on-one type conversations, I would strongly recommend you avoid in your early days playing Torn. Rule number 8, do not take attacks personally. You will get attacked. You will get mugged. You will get hospitalized. It's nothing personal. It's part of the game. When you get real defensive and you respond or react to many players in this game, they're only going to be encouraged to do it more. So don't take it personally. Don't try and be retaliatory. Just basically ignore it and go on with your life. This will resolve itself in the first few weeks of your playing the game. Okay, rule number 9, avoid attacking active players or players who are currently in a faction. This one is a little more tricky Basically, you will find people to attack through missions. Anytime a mission tells you who to attack, it's totally okay. When you're just kind of randomly searching around or finding people, um, like this person who I don't know, Joe. If I scroll down here, I can see immediately that he is in a faction. Okay, so we want to avoid attacking this person. Rule number 10: avoid mugging and hospitalizing other players. And you'll see this as you do more attacking in the game, but after you defeat an opponent, you're generally given the options leave, mug, or hospitalize. It's almost always the case that you want to click leave. In some cases, a mission may tell you to do otherwise, but when you're attacking other players, avoid doing mug or hospitalize because you're generally just going to aggravate or anger the person you just attacked. And then the final rule: don't spend money. Our goal here is for you to save your money so you can rent your first private island at level 15. Getting a private island at level 15 is a huge leg up on progressing in this game. So avoid the temptation to buy those shiny weapons, the new armor, all these things that you will see. And trust me, if you'll save your money for that first private island, it's going to really ramp up your income, and you're going to grow in this game much quicker. All right, that's it for video number 1. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.